Now you've no doubt heard the great news that issue 1 was defeated in Ohio. And in a nutshell, this is what happened. But here are some of the delicious details that you may not have heard. Of course, this is a huge win for Ohio voters who now retain the right to be able to put things onto the ballot directly. They don't have to rely on their legislature, and they can pass those ballot measures with just a simple majority. The Republicans had been trying to raise that up to 60%. This is also a resounding loss for Ohio Republicans. Ohio Republicans don't want their voters to have any power, and so they went out of their way to try to sneak in issue 1. Last year, they actually banned August special elections and then broke their own law to put issue 1 on the ballot in August because they knew there'd be low turnout. So was turnout low? No, it wasn't. It actually beat the turnout of the 2022 primaries. With most of the vote counted at this point, we are 56% no and 43% yes. Now, while you'd expect that there'd be great results out of, say, college towns, say, winning 75 to 25%, there are also some terrific wins that are tucked away in some of the red counties. For example, Geauga County last voted for a Democrat for president in 1964, but tonight, the no votes had the majority. Delaware County, which last voted for a Democrat for president in 1916, and the no vote got the majority there, too. So tonight, we celebrate, and then we get back to work, because in Ohio, there's a constitutional amendment on the ballot for this November to protect abortion rights. We can get this done.
It's too bad her mother didn't fucking go for the abortion.
I was going to say, that one might I actually would have agreed with. Can you see the shit-eating grin? I'm sorry, I already swore.
No, go ahead, dude. We're going to be swearing today.
Can you see the shit-eating grin on that bitch's face when she's talking about killing babies?
She has the most punchable face I have seen in a long time.
Very long time. Last night was an example of just how friggin' dumb people are and uninformed people are and how ridiculously stupid people are when they go to the polls. They don't do any kind of research. They don't do any kind of I'm going to get informed.
I just want to put her face up here while you're talking just to make you more crazy.
They don't do anything to actually understand what the hell is going on. I literally, and I'm not joking, I swear to God, this is the honest to God truth. I had a guy call me on my cell phone yesterday. He was at the polls.
Yeah.
And said, which way am I supposed to vote? Now, God love him. I told him which way that I think he should have voted. But my wife walked out of the polls and goes, man, that was really confusing. There's all this Spanish stuff on there. If you didn't do the research, you didn't listen to the right people, forget about us. I'm talking about the major people that have been talking about this, then you're dumb. I had one guy say they're using Jedi mind tricks on you, Seth. No, they're not, idiot. They were using them on you. When they run a commercial with scissors cutting up a constitution and you want to believe this shit, you're the dumb one, not me. When we have people on that are explaining to you what's going on, now I know there's a whole lot of people that are running to listen to the show all the time, but you know what? We had some intelligent people talking about why this was a good idea. Apparently, 3/4 of the state don't understand what the hell was going on. They'd rather listen to John Legend, who doesn't live here in Ohio, by the way.
Yeah.
They have no idea what they were voting on. They have no idea why they voted the way that they did, except for this dumb bitch who is voting specifically for the right to kill children. So good for her. One, she looks old enough, too old to even have kids.
Look, the best thing she
maybe
could do.
Her kids that are killing her kids.
The best thing she could do for any baby she was about to bring in the world is kill it. Not subject it to 18 years of this cunt. Fuck that.
I'll sit on her face.
Wow.
Yeah. That on my watch. I don't know.
I don't know that I'd even want to watch that. Only if it chokes her out.
Let's see how this plays out in November. That's the problem. We have a big problem come November. I said yesterday on Facebook, and I mean it. We are at a tipping point in this country. And I'm not trying to be over dramatic here, but it's wartime.
Yeah?
It is to the point where the radical left are yelling and screaming louder than anybody else. The Republicans are sitting on their hands doing goddamn nothing, and we're not yelling back. We're not fighting back. I was listening to Bob today. I was producing Bob Francis' show today, and he's hopefully going to join us on next Monday.
Okay.
But listening to his show, and he says, now the real battle, the real war has begun. Now in November, we got to start, get out there and vote. Well, you should have done it yesterday. Now, the real battle begins in November. Okay, well, yeah, we got to start getting our shit on the ballot. We got to start making it known that we're not going to have our kids mutilated at 8, 10 years old.
Yeah,
we have to go out and do something for once. The Republicans are real good at talking and not doing shit. Whereas the Democrats, they actually hold hands, unite, and do something. Mm-hmm. And the sad part is it's wrong. Now, this is not a battle anymore between right and left. This is a battle between right and wrong. And I can't believe that there are people that actually believe that late-term abortions, as the baby's coming out, it's all right to kill it. I can't believe that there's people out there that agree with mutilating children. I can't believe that there's people out there that think that it's okay to take guns away from law-abiding citizens. I can't believe that there's people out there that want to take away meat and corn because it's not good for greenhouse gases or whatever the hell they're promoting. I refuse to believe that there's that many stupid people out there that think that men should be competing with women in sports. Today in Texas, there were little girls that were walking into Texas courthouses and were ready to sign a bill preventing men from playing in women's sports. They were shouted down. They were called names by grown-ass men and women. Little girls were yelled at because they want to play sports with other girls.
Yeah.
This country has lost its fucking mind. And I talk to people on the other side and say, no, it hasn't. You're being too dramatic. No, I'm not. This is the reality of the situation. And it showed yesterday. People are dumb. People are easily influenced by the wrong things. And
people are lazy. Don't leave out lazy.
Oh, absolutely they're lazy.
Because that's lazy. And I don't even know who called you, but if I'm offending some family member or friend, I apologize for what I'm about to say. But there was more than enough information out there to know which way you should have voted.
Absolutely.
There just was. And not from us, from anywhere. I mean, outside of us just getting ready to talk to the two guests that we had on the show, one who I couldn't have been more polar opposite of politically, the first lady, what's her name? Amy Natachi, right? First one?
Yeah.
Natosi, yeah. I couldn't be more polar opposite of her, of most of her political stance. She was the person that I did not want to talk to. But she made sense. I listened and I studied to understand at least where she was coming, to ask informed questions. Everybody has that same option. It's not like me and you have the secret broadcasting studio that we can go to study on this stuff. Me and you study the same way everybody else does, on Google. You Google it, you look, you read, you make opinions. People don't do that. If people are calling you at the poll, if you've made it to the poll and you don't know how to vote on an issue, then you haven't done your homework.
No, not at all. But I'm going to say that the right didn't do the right thing on this either. Mm-hmm. The right was lazy when it came to advertising and pushing out their point of view. Yeah. I mean, they only started putting out commercials and stuff just a couple of weeks before the actual vote. The left, they're smart in the sense that they know how to deceive, they know how to fool, and they know how to push their agenda, and they know how to do it in a timely fashion. They did it for months before this even was going to be announced. They were starting to talk about it. And they did it the right way. They did all these stupid things to make you think we were going to tear up the Constitution. We are a republic, not a democracy. Oh, by the way, people, you have to go out and do it. The early voting came in, and you could see it was like 75-25% in favor of the left on this. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because the left, for some reason, likes to go out, vote early, and Republicans think, oh, I'll just go ahead and do it on the day of, and then they forget to go out and actually vote.
Well, it's organization. It's they do the early voting so that they can see how much money they have to spend to get to where they want to get to. It's actually being smarter. They're smarter than the right at this point.
Yes. Okay. There was some out-of-state money. I think $4 million, something like that came in from somebody in Illinois or something like that on the Republican side on this. But I hate to tell you, read the Jack Windsor article. Jack Windsor, who we used to have on the Trip Show all the time. He's a fantastic writer and everything else. He wrote an article about the dark money that came in from, I think it was Switzerland.
Okay.
Like millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, which should be illegal, by the way, to come from out-of-country foreign entities. But it is what it is. We lost, but now the real battle does have to begin, like Bob said this morning. But we're not going to win it unless we start doing something.
Yeah, well, and we got to start and I say we, even though I'm kind of more in the middle.
I know you are.
But I will say this. If you want to beat an enemy, you got to fight like an enemy. And we don't.
Well, that's
we don't. The right don't. If they're going to bring in John Legend, then we should have brought in Jason Aldean or Kid Rock or Ted Nugent or somebody that speaks the right language to inflame the base. That's what I mean, honestly, what has anybody in your recent memory, the last 2 years, name a celebrity that has stood up other than Jason Aldean or Kid Rock?
Not many, because they're afraid to. They're afraid they're going to be blackballed in Hollywood. They're afraid they're going to lose the poor audience that are going to their movies and concerts and everything else. For the most part, it's the Democrats that are going to those things. It's amazing to me. The poor people always spend the most money to go out and do stuff, and the poor people generally vote left.
Yeah. Here, I'll put this up on the screen. They're coming for my guns.
Yes, they are.
Here it is. It's right here. And I'm going to tell Mayor Bibb directly, here's the spot right here where you're going to have to hit me with a bullet to take that gun. I don't give a flying fuck what you say with your stupid fucking politics, cocksucker. This is the fucking spot. If you want my gun, right there's where you better plant a 9, because otherwise it ain't happening. Fuck off.
Well, I mean, Mayor Bibb came out and said that if this issue went down, which it did by a large majority, according to this broad, they're one of the first things they're going to do is come after your guns.
Come and get it.
Good luck to all those idiots that went out and voted yesterday and voted no on issue 1.
Yeah.
I hope that there's a lot of law-abiding gun owners there that are going to come take your guns.
Which gun owners are going to give up their guns? None.
Idiots that voted for no on issue 1.
None. No lawful gun owner is giving up their gun.
So now these people are going to have to accept the consequences, because I guarantee you there's a lot of just dumb, ignorant people that went out and voted no because they didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
But again, now is the time. Now is the time to stand up and actually start doing something for once. I mean, it is about being lazy, and the Republicans, conservatives, of which I consider myself one, are friggin' lazy people. They're not doing a damn thing.
Yeah, well, they're taking it.
Impeach Biden. Do something.
They take it under the guy, and this is what has always bugged me. It's one of the reasons I'm not as much of a conservative as I probably am by nature, but it's why I won't claim that being a conservative. The Conservative Party always hides behind "we're too busy to." That's always the argument is, well, we're working. We don't have time for this whining and crying. Bullshit. You got to get out there. You got to get out there and do stuff. If you're gonna talk about it, you got to be out there. You got to be at the council meetings throwing chairs if that's what it takes, or yelling somebody down, or when they start yelling at you, not sitting down like a coward. You have to. You absolutely have to. And I got to take this awful bitch off the screen. Sorry, Seth. I can't look at her anymore.
No, neither could I. There was actually one that I was going to play that she's actually worse. I should send you that video. She's really, really bad. I mean, she's got a smile on her face from her ass to her ear. I mean, it's just.
Is there a difference?
But these are the people that we're up against. And here, let me play. a couple of things because this is what we're up against, people. And you don't understand. They may look stupid. They may sound stupid, but they're winning. These people are winning.
Mike, you fucking GOP motherfucking asshole. You fucking Republican shit. You fucking fuck you. Yeah.
This is gold. This is gold.
Shit.
This is gold.
That guy's winning. That guy probably went out yesterday and voted no, and he won.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to take a loss in order to get angry enough to win.
Like, okay, how many losses are we going to take? Look who's in the office.
Maybe this is the last
president. One. How the hell could not have Biden in the office not have been the last one? That guy's a fool.
Well,
there's so much trans hate in the fucking world. Sorry, there's so much trans hate in the world right now, and I'm so done with it. And pride just means that we are unabashedly happy just to be alive.
Yeah. And where do you personally feel that hate is coming from?
Most places, but especially the government.
And in your own life, where would you say that you feel the hate the most?
I feel like I kind of internalize a lot of the hate, so it feels like it mostly comes from myself at this point because...
And your sound went dead. And your sound is gone. Nope, you're out. Come back in. Seth's so mad he blew up his computer. All right, folks. Well, I'm assuming Seth is going to reboot here in a second. So he's going to boot. I'm going to play a spot. And then we'll come back and see what we got going on here. So hang tight. It is the Seth Williams Show. We will be back in a minute.
There's no place like home, and whether it's furniture, artwork, home accessories, appliances, or that one-of-a-kind collectible, Yellow Brick Road Online Auctions allows you to find everything you need from the comfort of your own home. The owner of Yellow Brick Road Auctions has been conducting online estate auctions for over 8 years by providing homeowners with a stress-free process to liquidate all items that have accumulated over the years.
I'm Melissa Mendici, owner of Yellow Brick Road Auctions. Log on today to find your heart's desire.
Hey, it's Seth from Mario's Barbershop in Parma, 7526 Broadview Road in the Pleasant Valley Shopping Center right next to Big Lots. You got to check out Mario, man. Great guy, does a lot for charities, but can perform miracles with hair. He even made me look clean cut. Does my hair, does a great job. Love talking to the guy while I'm sitting there. It's a great place to go, local business. You gotta go to Mario's Barbershop in Parma. Mario's Barbershop in Parma, 7526 Broadview Road. Again, in Parma, Pleasant Valley Shopping Center, right next to Big Lots. Or give them a call, 216-520-1977. That's 216-520-1977. Mario's Barbershop in Parma.
Trust Joe's Lakewood Computer at 14035 Madison in Lakewood. They have over 30 years of professional service handling laptop and desktop repair services, virus removal, and data migration, and much more. You can trust them with hardware updates to your computer's memory and hard drive. Call 216-651-3880. Whether you need a simple Windows install or you're interested in the latest computers for gaming, call Joe's Lakewood Computer at 216-651-3880.
This is Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers for attorney Will Spiegelberg. Will Spiegelberg is not only a name you know, he's someone you can trust as your attorney no matter the circumstance. Will Spiegelberg is an attorney you can always count on. Will Spiegelberg is the attorney you should contact for all your legal work. When you need an attorney, call Will Spiegelberg at 216-233-4240. Attorney Will Spiegelberg, a great teammate. 216-233-4240.
And we're back, and Seth is... There he is. I hear you.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that. What the fuck? I've called my cable company 412 goddamn times to try to figure this out, and I swear to God, I'm going to get money back next time.
I know what it is. You're not towing the line, so they're cutting you off.
I don't know what else to do anymore.
You're on now. That's all
It's
that
the
matters.
left. The left is stopping me from doing everything that I want to do in life.
Well, here, I'll put you over on the right side. Now you're on the right. Now it should be fine. Now I'll be the lefty that can have all the problems.
All right. Now I keep getting... Jim keeps yelling. Everybody keeps yelling. Instead of talking, I'm just going to play this.
Oh my God. Staples actually sells staples.
Yes. She does have a point.
I was talking to my wife last night. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear
I'm
you.
going to have to check in like every 5 minutes to make sure that I can still talk. I was talking to her last night, and I said, I wish sometimes that I could be that guy that just ignores everything, doesn't say anything, doesn't think about anything, and just goes to, the bar, has a couple of drinks, goes home, watches, American Idol or whatever the hell's on, and goes to bed, gets up, goes to do my 9 to 5, forget about politics and everything, but I can't. I can't do it. I can't turn it off. I can't sit there and say, okay, this country's in bad shape, but I'm just going to ignore it and wait till I die. Because that would suck.
Well, yeah, you can't go to that level. I can tell you how again, I can only speak for myself. I do ignore it. But I don't ignore it to the level of I'm sitting here waiting to die. I just don't care what they say. Mayor Bibb or whatever saying he's collecting guns. He ain't collecting mine. I don't give a damn what law he puts in front of me. I don't care what he puts at my door. I don't care. When the pandemic happened and they told me that I had to close my doors over there at the Pinball Palace, I said no. I just said no. I was like, I'm here. You know where I am. Come arrest me if that's what you need to do. But I'm not closing my doors. I'm just not doing it. When the LGBTQ 123 group called and said that we couldn't have ladies' night at my place, I told them to kiss my ass. They don't run my business. You just have to kind of stand up and say, look, I don't care what you say. Live your life. And I know that sucks, especially in some of the harder issues like watching. Thankfully, your kid is past the age of being indoctrinated. You kind of took care of that right before this all came in. So you won't have to watch your kid being 8 years old and somebody trying to tell you that you need to turn her into a trans boy or any of that kind of stuff.
No.
That being said, you're gonna unfortunately have to swallow the tough pill of watching some people that ruin their kids' lives. And that sucks, but you know what? At some point, you got to worry about you. You just can't worry about them. Let them kill their kids. That's their problem.
At the same time, my problem is I love this country. And
so do I.
Some jackass put up yesterday on Facebook, people fought and died for this country, and you should vote no on issue 1.
Yeah, well.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
I fought in a war, and I did not vote no on issue 1. So what does that make me? A traitor? A traitor to my own patriotism? Shut up. Again, another keyboard warrior that probably didn't serve, trying to make use of my service for his benefit. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, she's just a TV radio wannabe person.
Yeah, a dummy. Another dummy that's trying to use my service against me. Fuck off.
And then another guy said, all you Republicans, all you want is to put our men and women in wars and let them die. And I said to her, I said, well, wait a second. Trump had no wars under him.
Yeah.
This fool is sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, their logic makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
I mean, and that's kind of why I have a hard time giving them credence for anything, because their logic makes no sense. They just sound like morons. But trying to fight with a moron is ridiculous. You're never going to win that. They're dumb.
One guy said, I hate cops. Like I said on Monday, he said, I hate cops because I was going to vote yes on issue 1.
Ah, good. That's where you should, dude, you just have to kind of roll with it. You really do. And I know it sucks. And believe me, it took me a while myself to just start rolling. I got called racist and bigot so many times for jokes. Jokes. Now, I'll admit, some of them were racially inclined jokes, but I do a shock jock show on Saturdays. So yeah, I told some jokes, and instantly it was like, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you hate all black people. It's like, you don't know me. You don't know my friend circle. You don't know anything about me. And at first, like you, I used to fight back on everything. I used to physically fight back, and then I used to fight back on social media and anywhere else. From a social media to a fist, I was ready to fight back. Now I just don't care. People are dumb, and that's always the other one that they always try to go, well, you're just too stupid to okay, am I stupid? Me, self-taught computer programmer, guy that wrote 6 books, guy that has started 5 successful businesses. If I'm stupid, you should be as stupid as me.
Absolutely.
But you just can't, dude. You cannot let them win that. If somebody hits you, Seth, with the stupid thing, that's when you're like, okay, I run $1 million boards for $1 million radio shows. I taught myself how to go onto the internet, and do this that we do now. You self-taught yourself that in a month. Yeah, you're a real dummy too, dude. Can't give these guys any credence, man. They're
But
just
I don't.
idiots.
I really don't give them credence, and I don't really try not to, anyways, get sucked into the arguments. Now, I got sucked into one the other day just because the guy happened to be a friend, a fan of the Triv show, and I even said to him, I said, "You realize Triv of all people would be ashamed of you? I mean, don't you understand what you're doing? Don't you understand that calling names is like not what you want to do? It's like, you're calling me names. I've known you for 10 years. And you're going to be like that? I mean, they don't get it.
Dude, mute. Mute. Done.
I thought you were talking about me again.
No, not you. Not you. I'm saying when they're running that stupid shit on you, mute. Then they can say all the nonsense that they want to themselves. Go ahead. Say it all to yourself.
A lot of messages coming in. I was called a QAnon member and told to move out of Ohio because I posted my yes vote. That's what's going on, though.
I know, but you just got to laugh at that. Are you a QAnon member? Then who cares what some other blip on your screen says?
Like I said, make Election Day paid holidays. Watch these sneaky special elections disappear.
That is true. I've always wondered why is the election not on a Saturday? Why is it during the work week when people are like, yes, they could technically get out to vote. They can get out of work. But as well as I do, the work hates that. So you really look down upon at most jobs if you do go to vote with your work. If you say, well, I'm going to be 2 hours late because I'm working. Don't most, and it's been a long time since I've worked in an office, but don't most companies only give you X amount of time to go vote?
Yeah, I think so.
They tell you, well, you could come in an hour late or you can leave for 1 hour or whatever.
Can you imagine if Chisalka was sidekick today?
I'm sure he's watching right now, laughing his ass off.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's having a good old time.
He's probably like,
I'm
I
not
love
mad.
that woman.
I'm not mad. I am.
You are mad. Don't lie.
I'm mad, but I'm ready for the fight now. I'm ready for the actual fight because now, it has to happen. We are too divided. There's no coming back. It starts at the top with this idiot that's in the office that can't stand upright. I have one leg, and if you took it off, I could still stand upright better than that guy. And he's in charge of the country, and he's the one who's been dividing since he got into office. Forget about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, people just didn't like him because he was an ass and he's tweeting all that kind of junk. This guy has literally called half of the country traitors for the most part.
Yeah. Well, look at the way he laughed at the fair party just the other day. Fair election. So the reporter asked him, what that reporter asked him, he said, Donald Trump still has a strong presence. And he laughed at it. He said, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. that didn't sound like we're going to make sure legally. That sounded to me like through any means necessary.
There you go.
The former president will not return, or that his political movement, which is still very strong, will not once again take power in the United States.
Well, we just have to demonstrate that he will not take power by, if he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president.
You know how much I want his son to run and him to just act as counsel? That's what I hope happens. I hope they put all this effort into the Donald and then DT2 runs instead.
Absolutely.
That would be the best. Get him in there and just announce it. My consigliere is going to be Donald Trump. Just announce it. That's the way we're going to run our government. Since it doesn't matter anyway, we can do anything we want. We can throw money to the Ukraine. We can do blow and bang hookers in exchange for secrets. We can do whatever we want to do. So I'm going to bring in Donald Trump. No, even if he's in jail, I'm going to pardon him and bring him in. That should be his platform. You fight fire with fire, man.
Seth needs to stop taking this personally. These idiots don't know how to debate rationally. Look, I'm not taking it personally. I'm taking it personally as a human being, as a person with morals and values and wants this country to go in the right direction. Now, I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. It may upset some people that I know. The left is crazy. They don't want the country to go in the right direction. They don't. I have people that I know that are on the left. They go to church every single week and then will sit there and say that it's okay to kill children and mutilate them. So the left has lost their minds. Their morals, their priorities are completely screwed, and they have no idea which way the country should be going. What happened to the good old days? Look, I'm sorry. Women may take offense to this too, but this country was great back in the day when the men went to work. They worked their asses off. There was a good living to be made in this country. There was a white picket fence with a gate on it on your house, ready to go in. When you got home, the wife was there taking care of the kid, making sure the kid was raised properly, and everything was under control. Now we have no priorities, no values. We have men competing with women in sports, and that's okay. We have children as young as 8, 9, 10 years old chopping off their penises to become women. At 8, 9, 10 years old. That's something that I never even read in a storybook when I was younger. It wasn't even a fantasy kind of thing. This is reality now. The left has lost their minds.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with abortion or not, killing a baby as it comes out of the mother in the 9th month is murder. Not an abortion. It's murder. That's okay to do.
No argument from me.
They've lost their minds.
No argument from me on that one. I'll argue some of these points, but the late-term abortion I will not give.
Going after people who are law-abiding citizens and taking their guns is craziness. Instead of going after the thugs on the streets who are committing murders and robberies every single day, they want to go to people like you and people that I know that are good friends that own guns. They want to go to their homes and take their guns. That's what Mayor Pig wants to do. Why don't you go to the streets of Cleveland and start knocking on those doors of those thugs and taking their guns, putting them in jail?
You don't even have to knock on the doors. Just walk the street. Stop and frisk.
They live somewhere. Go get them and quit worrying about law-abiding citizens. The left has gone crazy.
Which lawfully owned gun was used in that shooting in Cleveland, a month ago?
It was not.
It was not. Somehow, if you take my guns, I'll just use that, and obviously the gun thing is important to me, but if you take my guns, here you go, Mayor dumbass, here's my weaponry. You can take all my guns. Now you've got them. How has that made it safer in downtown Cleveland? That's my question for anybody to answer. How has taken my guns that have never, ever shot anybody illegally, never been used illegally, never done anything other than lawfully, how is taking them making the streets of Cleveland more safe? That's the answer I want. If you can give me a legitimate answer to that, you can come right here and take my guns. But there's no answer to give because it's not. Criminals don't follow laws. I mean, it's that simple.
It's beyond me how this country is just changed. It really is. When a movie like Sound of Freedom, which did pretty well in the box office, but it's about sex trafficking children, is looked at as a horrible movie by the left, yet Barbie is considered a fucking Oscar award winner. We have a problem in this country.
Yeah. I agree. I don't disagree.
And I don't know how you change it. How do you change it at this point? The only way I can see to change it is some sort of revolt. Did I go out again?
No, you're here.
Right.
I'm laughing at Rick. My gun is illegally parked.
But what are you going to do? So now how do you move forward? Again, I'm enjoying my time at WHK, and I love listening to Bob France, and producing this week has been fantastic, and I look forward to it tomorrow. But voting isn't working. Whether you believe the election was stolen or there's just 86 million idiots out there that thought that Biden was going to be a good president. Voting isn't working. Voting isn't working when it comes to what's going on in our own state. Which I thought was a red state, which I thought was a state that we had values, morals, and we were going to do something right to prevent what's going on the left agenda. But we're not. So what do we do? How do the voices of rational thought take over again?
All right, I'm going to stop you just to interject a little bit on what you're saying here. And again, please don't make me take the left side on this because I really don't want to. But you're oversimplifying this a little bit. And what I mean specifically on that is the point that both Mahek and Amy made in the last week on the show, which is the way this was being put out there was to cause confusion. And I really do think there was, I would bet you 30% of the no votes didn't know what they were voting. I would bet you that.
You're probably right.
And if you take that to the other side, if you take half of that to the other side, then it gets through. So it really was confusion. It wasn't that it wasn't that voting doesn't work. It's that the education of the voters didn't come through.
But see, I think my point is that I don't think it's going to work the next time around either.
Right.
I think that come November, when this abortion initiative goes on the ballot, instead of saying, yes, it's a radical left abortion issue that is going to allow abortions up till the date of birth, that people aren't going to understand that, because you know what the left is going to do? They're going to frame it. They're going to frame it as women's health. If you don't believe in women's health, then you're against women, which is not true. Right. I'm not against women. Love women. Look at my phone. You can see how much I love women.
Look at all your bookmarks.
Yes, look at the tabs on each and every one of my thing on my phone. And you get on my Safari, you're going to see how much I love women. I am not against women. I'm against the killing of a baby, especially one at birth, which would be murder. But they're not going to frame it like that. They're going to frame it, again, to confuse people, again, to make people think that we're just anti-women. They're going to frame it as women's health. You're voting on women's health here. And if you don't believe in women's health, then you're a bastard.
And all I'll say is maybe this election was the wake-up call to where people do their diligence for November. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, you said before that, people needed a wake-up call. Well, maybe this is the wake-up call.
All right. Well, I sure hope so, because what happened
We'll see. I mean, we'll see, but
anyway. Did you take a break when I was? Yes, you did.
I did take a break. Yeah, we're good. We can go.